Dear students, today we will discuss another theorem which is again very important and which belongs to irrotational motion, that is Kelvin's minimum energy theorem. It is again very interesting theorem, Kelvin's minimum energy theorem. This theorem says that if in a flow region there are two types of flow, one is irrotational and one is rotational, then whatever be the kinetic energy of irrotational motion will always be less than the kinetic energy of any other motion. So that is why it is called the minimum energy theorem. That means kinetic energy corresponding to irrotational flow is always minimum than the kinetic energy of any other flow, but this is restricted to a condition that at the boundaries the normal component of velocity should be same for both flows. So what is Kelvin's minimum energy theorem? For an ideal homogeneous fluid, as I told you earlier that in this chapter we are assuming every fluid to be ideal and homogeneous. For an ideal and homogeneous fluid, the kinetic energy corresponding to the irrotational flow is always less than the kinetic energy of any other type of flow in the flow region if the flows, that means the flows have a prescribed velocity at the boundary, or I can say if the flows have the same normal velocity at the boundary. So this is the condition. So first of all, we will assume that there are two types of flow. Suppose there exists two flows, one irrotational and another rotational of any type. So for irrotational, we very well know the condition is curl of q is equal to 0 if q is the velocity of this irrotational flow. So I am designating it with q1. Then this implies there exists a velocity potential function say phi such that minus delta of phi is equal to q1. Now let q2 be the velocity of another type of flow, this be the velocity for another type of flow other than irrotational. Then under the condition, what is the condition? That both the flows have the same normal velocity at the boundary. Then under the conditions given, q1 dot n is equal to q2 dot n. What is n? N is unit vector along the normal to the surface S. So this is the normal component velocity for the flow moving with velocity q1. This is the normal component of velocity for the flow moving with velocity q2. But as per the condition, both will be same. So I may write it as this is equal to 0, which is the second condition, will be used later. And now third one is that what is the equation of continuity? Equation of continuity. These will be two equations, one for irrotational flow and one for rotational. So equation of continuity is delta q10. Here I will put dot because both are vector in this case. Delta dot q1 is 0. This is 3, and delta dot q2 is 0, which is 4. Okay. Now I have to prove that kinetic energy with respect to q1 is minimum than the kinetic energy with respect to q2. So I will write T2 minus T1. This is kinetic energy regarding q2, and this is kinetic energy regarding q1. So this is the kinetic energy of the flow which is other than irrotational, and T1 is the kinetic energy for irrotational flow. So by definition it will be half of rho q2 square minus q1 square dV, volume integral, which can be adjusted as twice q1 dot q2 minus q1 plus q2 minus q1 whole square. This term may be written like this. If you solve it, you will get q2 square minus q1 square. Write it separately as two integrals, twice q1 dot q2 minus q1 dV, and again rho by 2 q2 minus q1 square dV, volume integral. Now this is the square of q2 minus q1, so it will be always positive for the volume V. Now we have to concentrate on this part. For this part, first of all, rho, this 2 will be cancelled with this 2. In place of q1 I may write delta phi, because q1 was corresponding to irrotational motion, so q1 may be written as delta of phi with minus symbol, delta of phi q2 minus q1 dV plus the same expression. Now what will be delta phi? Delta is operating on scalar function, so now it is a vector, so put dot. No, I will find the value of another expression. If I operate delta on phi into q2 minus q1, ऐसे लिखते हैं इसको, and this will be q2 minus q1, which is a vector, dot delta phi plus phi delta, because phi is a scalar, this will work as a vector on q2 minus q1. Now this is equal to q2 minus q1 dot delta phi plus phi, I am operating this delta inside, delta q2 minus delta q1 Now delta Q2 was 0 because of equation of continuity, delta Q1 is 0 because of equation of continuity. So this expression is 0. This is 0, and I may write it as delta phi dot Q2 minus Q1, because dot product is, in dot product you may interchange the two vectors. So finally you got its value. Suppose it is A, you got its value in terms of this. So I'll put it T2 minus T1 is equal to minus rho, this will be delta dot phi Q2 minus Q1, and this will be 0, and this is one positive term, which is rho by 2 Q2 minus Q1 square dV. Again, this is the volume integral, this is the volume integral, here it is dV. So what I do, I use the Gauss theorem and convert it into surface integral. And when I convert it into surface integral, it becomes n dot phi Q2 minus Q1 ds. Now it is the surface integral plus rho by 2 v Q2 square minus Q1, Q2 minus Q1 whole square. Again, this phi may come outside and this n will go inside. So n dot Q2 minus n dot Q1. And what is n dot Q2 minus n dot Q1? It was 0, because we have the prescribed value of velocity at the boundaries. So again this whole is 0, and you are left with this quantity only, and this quantity is positive, greater than 0. So what you got, T2 minus T1 is greater than 0 implies T2 is greater than T1. T1 was, this was kinetic energy, this was kinetic energy for any other type of flow, and this was for irrotational flow. So this is arbitrary flow. T2 is greater than T1 implies kinetic energy corresponding to irrotational motion is minimum, subjected to the condition that we have prescribed value of velocity at the boundary. So this is all about Kelvin's minimum energy theorem. Thank you so much.